Good morning, I'm Elvie, and here's the crew putting this log house together. Go ahead and say your names.
I'm Dawson, Trevor, Nancy, Copeland, Brandon, Philip.
So these guys here are helping to set the logs. Dawson is putting the screws down. Trevor is obviously running that crane. Been doing that for years. Matthew is putting the caulking down. Brandon is helping me to set the logs, and Philip is hooking the logs with the hooks and straps. So we got 2 rows started. Took a little break, and it's early morning still, and we're gonna get this thing cranking and get her all done today, hopefully. So let's get at it. Here we got a couple toys, drills, chainsaws, skill saws, and other toys that we use to put this house together. And after our break, we continue, and let's have a closer look underneath. Between the concrete and the first log, there are 2 layers of 2x6 pressure treated lumber. That lifts the log off the concrete so it doesn't sit there, so it prevents it from rotting and from moisture and decay. So those 2x6 pressure treat give it some space, and then these logs are screwed down into that pressure treat. Hey guys, this is day 2. Yesterday we set the logs. Today we got the tongue and groove ceiling on and the rafters up on the roof. So let's have a look and see what we've got done so far today. The first thing this morning, we put 2x6 tongue and groove, or we call it T&G, ceiling on the porch. It's 1.5 inches thick, providing an overhang out here. And that's what the outside porches get, that 2x6, and the interior gets 1x6 or 3/4 inches thick. Knotty pine, number 2 ceiling. Number 2 means it has knots. So there you have it. That's the ceiling. The owners think the porch is cute. I think so too. 18 by 30. They got some loft windows, not loft windows, gable windows to look cool and let a little bit of light in. Let's see what the guys are doing. We put the railing in and this log header last night. The very last thing we put this is a log porch header and log porch posts. Post header for the porch. That's the last thing we did yesterday. So yesterday we got all the logs set, and that's all we got done. And then today we got the decking put on and the rafters on the roof. And the next step is going to be run the wiring in the roof. And then we spray foam insulation in that roof cavity. You get the 4-foot overhangs on all your roofs, unless they're a small cabin. They might be shorter. You get a nice eave, usually about 24 to 30 inches long, depending on the design, for your shedding your water on the edge of the roof or the eaves. Let's see if we can get a view of those rafters. You can see the 2x4s on the roof right there, and the space between the ceiling and the rafter. That foam flows under that rafter, a 5-inch foam, the board that's moving underneath that. That is your insulation, and it's 5 inches thick, sticky foam, looks like whipped cream, and that seals the entire roof for insulation. That's an unbroken seam of polyurethane, closed cell, waterproof, insect proof foam for your roof insulation. We can go R38 or R49 depending on the jurisdiction. All right, so far so good. Day 2. This is day 3, and we got the roof all framed, and Foster and Philip are installing the fascia, which is this beautiful fur trim that goes around the outside of the roof. And Dwayne is spraying the foam insulation in the roof cavity. Another hour that will be done so we can cover it. So day 1 was logs, day 2 was roof framing, and day 3 today is going to be getting the roof covered, installing the railings, installing windows and doors. Let's have a look at the foam spray, see how that's going up there. Hi there, we got some rain last night. This is morning 4. Philip and Foster are installing the fascia from the Douglas fir material that we cut. Let's have a look and see what the progress is so far. We put ice and water. It's a sticky back, thick felt on the cold overhangs of the roof and all the porches. And then synthetic titanium or similar brand synthetic felt for the rest of the roof cover. Brandon is sanding the numbers off the end of the logs, taking out any kind of staples and things on the ends of the logs. With a sander. And Dawson is putting the window frames in. I cut the slots here I cut these cuts here and the slots and the angles, and then he's putting the frames in, these angle iron frames, putting the gasket on the back of the angle. And that angle, that product there goes in here, and that creates a window frame. The windows get installed from the outside. Now this customer has chosen us to frame the windows, so we're putting this frame together and we're installing all the frames. This is sanded, smooth. So we install the frame and he's going to install the windows himself. I've got the little loft window done, framed, and this one. And now we're continuing on to get the windows cut and frames put in. So what happened over here is loud. What happened over here is I started this morning by cutting this out with my Stihl 500, and I hit a screw that was in here. So I've got to so I ruined my chain, had to put a new chain on, and I got to dig this screw out. There's a screw right there. There's a trim saw. There's a table saw. So now I got to take the screw out and continue cutting. So we got finished with the part that we're doing, and this is a family that's got the cabin used for a wood shop here. This is Matt, his wife Tricia, and their daughter Catherine. So what do you folks have to say for this as we wrap up and leave?
It's fantastic. It's turned out better than we thought it was going to.
It's beautiful. It's really, it is a masterpiece. You're right, Katie. It is very beautiful, and they did great work.
So you told me that you're creative, at least the girls are. I don't know about Matt. I'm just kidding. I'm sure you're all creative. But you do metalworking, is that right?
Yes. Yeah, we do. We do a lot of skilled type of work. Yes.
I'd like to see some of that when you get that set up. So you're going to have the machinery tools in the shop here to do that kind of thing, right?
Yes, we are.
Do you mind opening the door and showing us kind of around the inside a little bit? Tell our viewers what you actually do, at least briefly, so we can. Is it like a plasma cutter or what kind of is it flat work that you?
A lot of scientific equipment.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, that sounds pretty high tech.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. Let's have a peek inside, huh? Shall we go inside? Got the double doors here. These are 6 foot high, 6'8" high, 6 feet wide, and so they swing wide to take things inside. And obviously a single level. Got some loft windows there. And so tell us, you're going to be doing all of the varnish or the sanding, finish, chinking yourself, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Is Matt going to help you on that, or he's going to play hooky?
Yeah, the biggest reason why we needed a shop was because we're renovating the house. There are some things that are missing, like closets in the bedrooms, so we needed to build closets. So we needed a shop where we could work on that and the rest of the projects we have. And this was now that it's built, and I've looked at it, I was, did we get a big enough shop? Was it, did we have it configured right? And now that it's built, it's like, yeah, this is exactly what we need. So. It'll be a lot. This is going to get used. This is the first big project we've done. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be used continuously. So
nice. So there is the stain and the chinking that you girls are going to be putting on the walls. Stain for the outside, crystal urethane for the inside, and the chinking. And they got a new gun from us, a chinking gun. So they're going to be installing or applying the product themselves on the interior. So standing from here, this is a nice view. If this was a cabin, this would be great for a small house. 18 by 30. Refresh me the model again on this off the website. Do you guys remember?
It's the treasure cabin.
The treasure cabin, but it was modified because it's got the porch out front instead of in the end of the house. So we'll have to come up with a different name, I guess, for this one with the side porch.
We've already got our first piece of equipment in here. That's a 500-pound table saw that you guys were very kind to move over for us from our garage. So.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, brand new commercial table saw. That's fun to have a nice piece like that. And so Matt and Trish and Catherine are going to be doing the trim themselves. We did install the trim for the door here with a Douglas fir 1-inch plank inside and out, but the windows we left them open or left them untrimmed because they aren't here. Besides, they can install them themselves, the trim. So that door's got the trim, and the windows obviously aren't installed or trimmed. So we left the material here for them to trim them with, the Douglas fir trim that we saw in our sawmill. So they can handle that, and he'll be off and running. So we beat the winter here, didn't we? So the other boys went home, and Dawson is still here with me, and we're going to just take some outside video, and then we're going to take off and take the trailer home. But this has got an outside porch. They chose to put some railings there for just a nice entry area to get into the cabin this way. And we fastened those railing posts down into the concrete with some bolts and plates. And the double fascia is all completed on the around the roof perimeter. We got the felt on the roof last night, and it rained all night and most of today. And that's a good feeling, have all that done. So it's out of the weather, and next week they got a roofer coming in to put the metal roofing on. Here's the trailer all locked up and connected to the truck, ready to head out. So this is very different from the treasure cabin with the porch along the length of it. That makes a big difference in the way it looks and the way it's laid out. So it's a really good choice. Dawson, you ready to go home to Hannah and the kids?
Yes, sir, I am.
There's my man. You did a good job on this house.
Thank you.
All right, well, maybe we'll see this when it's all stained and finished. Thanks for watching, folks.